Dear world leaders, all of you are just getting home now from the big speeches and pledges from your climate conference in Glasgow. I have a question for you. How will you make sure that you will keep your promises and meet your pledges this time? For 30 years you've had these big conferences with the same pledges: Kyoto, Copenhagen, Paris, now Glasgow. And for 30 years emissions have gone up, not down. Pollution is winning. The fossil fuel companies are winning. Some of you went to Glasgow with the best intentions. Some of you maybe didn't. Those who didn't, I think maybe you're corrupt, or you're just lying, or you're just plainly stupid.
You are stupid.
So I'm not going to waste my time with you. My message is for you, the leaders who truly want to have change, but have seen your countries fail over and over again. That this failure does not just start at these conferences. It really starts when you return home, full of hope, before the fossil fuel companies and all of the special interests start their public relations and lobbying campaigns. They buy off the legislators with donations. They air commercials about the jobs that they create. They warn the people that going green will kill the economy.
Bull. Come on. Don't bull.
And on top of it, they have sent the biggest delegation of anyone to Glasgow to the environmental conference. A bigger delegation than any country and any entity. Think about that. Why? To derail the negotiations. Year after year, your good intentions and the big goals of your conference go up in smoke. For 30 years, you've let the special interests win, and at 50% more emissions since 1990. And that really pisses me off. Because at the same time in California, we cut emissions by more than 25%, and we're below the 1990 levels right now. We've shown that the enemies aren't invincible. We won. But let me be clear, it has never been easy. Fighting those special interests takes more than just brains and good intentions, which I know you have. It takes courage. Frankly, it takes a little Conan. Here's an example. When I was governor of the great state of California, the heads of the biggest car companies in the world came to my office for a meeting. And there at that meeting, they threatened me with lawsuits against me in the state of California and told me that they were going to spend endless amounts of money to derail me politically. And they will make life miserable for us if we continue with our environmental laws. I looked them in the eyes and I did this. And when the 9 biggest car companies actually followed through and joined together in court against us, we did something like this. And when our own government sided with the car companies and blocked us from regulating our own air, we pushed back like this. Are you starting to get the point? I mean, Conan used strength, and he used badass weapons to defeat his opponents. As governor of California, I couldn't run around with a sword and chop people's heads off. This in the movies, but not in the real life. I had to rely on other weapons: truth and courage.
That's all you'll ever need.
And when you get home from Glasgow, you will need those weapons. I can guarantee you that. When the fossil fuel companies spent over $10 million to try to convince the voters to roll back our environmental progress, they literally wanted to overturn every environmental law that we passed. And they didn't want to just defeat California. No. They wanted to send a message to every state and to every country. Don't even think about going green. But we fought back. We raised our own money. And we campaigned up and down the state of California. And we started to connect with the voters. And we crushed them. Oh yes, we crushed them. We shined a light on the boogeyman, and we showed the Californians that there was nothing to fear and no one to stop us. Our battle should give hope to the rest of the world, because we have proven that this is a fight that you actually can win. We told the voters that the oil companies were motivated by profit, not jobs and not the environment. We told them that our policies to protect our environment would actually help California attract new jobs and new investments, that we build a clean economy. And finally, we discovered our best argument. And interestingly enough, it was not climate change or the rising sea levels or melting icebergs or any of that stuff. People didn't understand any of that. But when we talked about pollution, that pollution was killing us and giving our kids asthma, oh, the people got that. They connected with us. They looked at the alternatives of choking on pollution and they put their faith in us. And since then, we have proven the naysayers and the pessimists and the liars wrong with action. I mean, just look at California. We are a perfect example. I mean, we have the strictest environmental laws in the United States. And at the same time, we are number one economically. And California is not just number one in America, it is the fifth largest economy in the world.
Grant me revenge.
So that proves that you can protect the environment and the economy at the same time. And we are growing faster than any other state in the nation, in all of the largest economies in the world besides China. That's how successful we are. Our renewable industry has increased its workforce by 35% since 2019, 4 times the global rate. And we have done all of this while remaining number one in factory jobs and in growing our manufacturing industry by 13% over the past 5 years. Now, we aren't perfect. No. I mean, we have homeless issues, income inequality issues, and we have wildfires and we have earthquakes and all that stuff. But when it comes to the 2 E's, our environmental progress and our economy, we are number one. Now, some of my politician friends have asked me how we were the only state to stand up to this onslaught of the special interests. The answer is not politically correct. I once asked my very dear friend Dino De Laurentiis, who was a legendary movie producer and who made over 500 movies, including Conan the Barbarian, and who received 38 Oscar nominations. I asked him, Dino, what is your secret to success? And he said to me in his Italian accent, Schwarzenegger. In Italy, we are having the 3 C's. I said, what are the 3 C's? It's cavallo, the cuore, di coglione. That's Italian for brain, heart, and balls. Now, I know that you have the brain, and I'm certain that you have the heart, but we also need the balls. Because standing up to those special interests takes a lot of courage. And you can do this. You have the truth on your side, and you have the California success story to counter their arguments. So fight like your lives depend on it, because they do. Never ever give up. You can do it. You can write the next chapter of our history. You can build a better future, and you can save the world.